So as you may already know, UID has been implemented in Godot 4.4 quite a long time ago, but there have been a lot of people telling me, no, I don't like this feature, I don't understand what's the point of that, or basically not liking this feature. So I really tried to research on my own and tell you, okay, which are the two sides of this discussion, when it could be good to use UIDs, or what are their advantages in some specific cases, and in what other situations it may not be the best thing. So first of all, let's start with the basics, okay, which is the most important thing. So what is exactly a UID, or what does this word stand for? They basically stand for unique identifiers, okay? So as if you had like a physical ID of yourself, but in this case it is a unique identifier, okay, for each file, or well, not for exactly every single type of file. We're going to see which exact type of files actually have a UID. But for you to understand this, and this is the key thing of everything, and why at first I wasn't understanding why people didn't like this feature, is that, for example, well, here we have a path, okay, and this is the way in which we used to, for example, preload any resource. Before we would just write like the human readable path, okay, resources and other script.gd, for example. So this is the normal way of doing that, which right now is not the only way of doing it, okay? So this is a no UID, and this is with UID, okay? So as you can see, this should be referencing the exact same script, basically other script.gd. But now as you can see, well, it has, once again, this is the actual unique identifier, okay? And you can also see that the root of it is not anymore res, or well, res of resources, okay? Now the path is UID, and this is a path that you cannot see in the Godot folder or anything like that, because the res folder, if you take a look at it in any project, as you can see, is this folder right over there, but we don't have any kind of UID folder, at least right there. Because what happens is that now with this script you could move it wherever you wanted and it will still be loaded. And this is once again something that for beginners it's not really going to be important, because I think that I've not preloaded anything like until I was maybe a more advanced developer, or even I don't preload things like this anymore. I do them as an export variable, but anyway, I believe that they still have some importance, and that's actually something that we'll also be trying out. So for example, let me go to the main scene over here, and you will see how I reference these things. So for example, for the vehicle scene, coin scene, decoration scenes, these are all scenes within my scenes folder. So let's try to look for at least some of them. So vehicle is over here, coin scene is over here, and decoration scene is over here. So what I do, as I told you, I like to preload my things directly using the export annotation, because I can directly go here and select the different scenes, as you can see. So what I want to try out is that if I have a packed scene, okay, which is I believe the easiest way of preloading stuff, if I modify the path of these things, if they still work. So let me grab the vehicle scene and I will put them directly there, okay, in the roots, okay, of my project. So it's right there on vehicles. So now let's see if this reference has actually break or something like that, but I think that it's still being referenced correctly. And to try this out, let's just play the game and see if in these cases we'd actually take advantage of UIDs or something, but I believe that it will still work. So here we have the coin. Let's see. Yes, the vehicle still works, but the real problem comes when, for example, for some reasons, okay, some people what do is they use the ready annotation. So they just type on ready var vehicle scene, and here what they would write is equals preload, and here well, they will have to look for the corresponding file. So let me look for vehicle.tscm. So this is once again just in the resource folder, so this will still load in perfectly fine. What happens if then you're reorganizing your Godot project, you found, oh, this scene shouldn't be here, it should be inside of the scenes folder, so let's put it over here. And well, initially Godot won't give you any kind of problem, and it should be quite interesting if Godot would actually tell you, okay, yes, the scene is not here anymore. But anyway, now when you run the project, okay, you will see that I will basically tell this, Godot will tell me preload file vehicle scene does not exist. And that's because the path has been modified. So I would have to go over here and type again vehicle, and as you can see now the path has been modified, of course. So now the game will work as it should. and now we should see a vehicle being spawned. So let's wait a second. There we have it. Okay. Now what happens with UIDs? Let's go here, and if we right click on the vehicles, we can directly copy the UID or unique identifier. So when preloading this, we can directly paste this UID. As you can see, it's just some characters. Okay, and it doesn't matter whether I put this vehicle scene in the resources. And as you can see, the game compiles perfectly fine, and let's wait until we see a vehicle appearing. Okay, it doesn't matter if I have it in the assets folder, for example. It doesn't matter literally wherever I put it, and this is really like the biggest advantage of it, because whenever you want to change where your scene is, if you have it preloaded that way, it will not work correctly if you are not using UIDs. There was also a shortcut, by the way, to put the UID a little bit easier. I don't remember. I don't know if it was control. No, with control you created a constant. So yes, there was a way. I don't remember if any of you remember it, or no, this way it wasn't. Also, let me try to find it and I will try to give it to you right now, but if not, I don't know. I believe they have changed basically the shortcut, because here it used to be Control plus Shift, but if I do it with Control plus Shift, I don't basically get it. Okay, I get just a preload, but with not the UID. So I don't know. I believe they have changed it in 4.4.1. So well, if anyone knows about that, let us know in the comments. But anyway, if not, if you want to do it a little bit faster, you can use the shortcut Control Shift plus Alt. So Control Shift and also Alt was something more. Control Shift Alt C, and with this I should have here, yes, the UID. A little bit trickier. I believe there was, as I told you, like a much better way of doing this, but I am not able to find it right now. But well, until now, most people wouldn't find anything bad with this. In reality, we would find it perfectly fine, because we say, okay, now we can preload everything like this, and we are actually going to be having some advantages. And here comes one of the downsides or things that you have to consider. When you move a script or shader outside Godot, you should also move the UID file along with it. When you remove a script or shader out Godot, you should also remove the UID file. Although this is less important, and removing the UID file won't break anything. So what happens is that if you go to the project folder, in which you will find something like this, also make sure that you have the extensions enabled. So file name extensions over here enabled, so that you can actually see the extension. And if you go to scripts, for example, well, you have, for example, background.gd. .gd means that it is a GD script file, so this is the actual script. And this is the UID. And as you can see, every single script has its own UID. So what happens is that some people, or in some situations, we may not directly move a script inside of Godot. We may do it from here, or from, some people use Visual Studio Code, for example, or Visual Studio. So they must move these things all together, and some people didn't like this. I don't really know if there are some extensions or some Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code solutions that already moves automatically, detects that you are moving a file with a UID and automatically moves the UID. I believe there was being some work done, but I can't really make it sure that it is happening right now, or if there is any solution right now. I just wanted to point that out. So let's actually see how this happens. So for example, let's go back to a project, and what I will do is I will move the background script outside of its folder. Okay. So I will get over here the background scene, and I will just move it to the root. Okay. So now let me go back over here, and we should see it updated. So we still find the background over there, but I think maybe I have to save the changes or all changes. So let me go to save all scenes maybe. And now when we go back to here, we should find the background, but we are not. Maybe I have to update this. So refresh. Let me also, just in case, open it up again, and also let me go back here. Oh yes, but I think I moved the scene and not the script, I think. Yes, my bad, I moved the scene. I didn't want to move the scene, so that was my bad. So let's go back again here, scripts, and let's move the background script this time to the resources folder. And here we find it, and now since you have background.gd.uid and background.gd, Godot moved everything at once. And once again, we can actually grab these things. So I can get the background and move it back to scripts, and you will see that these two will disappear. Okay, there we go, and we find it background GT UID. But once again, if we, for example, do it here, so background, we cut it and paste it over here. First of all, we're going to be having this thing. So what we can do is we should reload from disk, or I believe that we can directly open it up over here, and that should fix our error. But well, as you can see, there were some problems, and also I believe that well, this is not the correct way to do it, because then this can lead to some potential errors. Maybe then the UID doesn't reference this file correctly, or when if you commit this change to a repository, we are going to be covering that in a second. If it is like this, maybe it's not the best thing. So well, you can kind of start to see some of the downsides. It is not like super well explained, the documentation, and trying out all these different situations would really take a lot of time, and I don't think that you're really interested in that. So here, quite important, if you are using a GitHub repository or in general some kind of version control, do not add in the git ignore file the UID extension file, because if not, this is not going to work, and probably you're going to have lots of errors. And there were also lots of problems, well, not problems, but questions about why not do everything in one meta file or something like that that could make everything in just one file. But they explained basically in short that this was not possible, or that wasn't the best approach. That is actually explained over here. You can see, you can read all this, but in short, they just said that this way was a little bit better, etc. You may agree, you may not agree, but what I can tell you is that at least for the general Godot user, okay, for a beginner, this won't really have like a huge bad impact on their game development journey. I believe just the opposite, it will have a positive impact. But if you are maybe a more advanced Godot developer, if you use a lot moving stuff externally from the Godot editor, maybe this could be something that you don't like. But anyway, I believe that Godot will improve it over time, as it always does. So well, I believe that we have to wait. Now, if you like the way I explain things, I have my own Godot course in which you can see that it already has 4.8 stars in 6 ratings and over 30 students. I am always here on the YouTube channel giving out discount codes. The original price is something like $45. Sometimes the platform automatically lowers it or increases the price based on different stuff. But well, yes, the base price is $45, but here in the channel you can get it much cheaper using the coupon codes that I often give. So well, take a look at the description. Maybe you are able to get a coupon, but if you are not able to do it, don't worry, because subscribe to the channel and in the future videos you will probably be able to get a much better coupon, or a coupon that actually works. And also keep an eye on the community tab. Not only do you have a Godot course, but also a Unity course of more than 21 hours. It already has 22 students. It has no reviews right now because none of the students have finished the course right now. And once again, its original price is something like $45, okay, even though here the platforms does what it wants with the price. And once again, in YouTube here, I'm always giving out some huge coupon codes. So hope you can enroll in any of these courses, and I will see you there.